Hi everyone, and it is a gloomy, rainy, cold day. But we can make do with that. Now today we're starting off with a tech that everyone has, or at least everyone I think has, which is our smartphones. Specifically for me, the OnePlus 7 Pro. Now what is OnePlus? Well, they are a Chinese company, and they have been making smartphones for quite a while, starting with the OnePlus 1, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. But they have come over the years, and they finally have to this generation, which is the OnePlus 7 Pro. Now, this particular phone has 8 gigs of RAM and 256 gigs of storage, which it's pretty good. There is a lesser version of this, which has 6 gigs of RAM, and there's a higher version of this, which has 12 gigs of RAM. Now, the 6 gigs of RAM might be a little bit under what you might need, so the 8 gigs of RAM might be a solid choice, and the 12 gigs of RAM might be a little bit overkill. Now, this particular one, if I take the cover off, comes with the Nebula Gray, or the Gray, if I'm not mistaken. It's glossy. Even though it seems like it has a glass back to it, it does not have wireless charging, so that is one of the downsides. But it makes up with the fact that it has the fast charging, or what they call, I believe, well, it's a fast charging device. I forgot the name of it, but it goes from 0 to 100% full in about 40 to 50 minutes, depending on how much usage you have and how much you need to charge. Generally, for me, I put it during the day when it's about 20% and goes up to 70% in about 30 minutes or so. So it makes up for the fact that it doesn't have wireless charging, which is just fine by me. Now, this phone does come with a 90Hz display, which is one of the key selling points, as not a lot of phones that I can think of, except for maybe the Asus ROG phone, which has a 120Hz killer refresh rate. But apart from that, not a lot of phones offer a high refresh rate display. Oh, another one that has one is the Google Pixel 4 that has a variable refresh rate. It's not a solid fixed rate, which this one has. This basically locks in at 90 Hz, except for when you're watching a video or taking pictures or photos. But when you're just scrolling, browsing through the web, or opening and closing apps, or just scrolling through the apps that you want, it still locks in at 90 Hz, which I don't know about you if you've ever experienced 90 Hz, but the camera doesn't really do it justice, but since this is locked in at 30 FPS, but it's a pretty nice feeling to have 90 Hz display. And now I had my old phone, which, hold on, stay right there. Now, this is my old phone, and it's a bit cracked, but this is my old phone, which is the Samsung Galaxy S8, and this had a 60 Hz display, and it's not on because, well, the battery's dead, but it had a 60 Hz display, and going to a 90 Hz display, I wouldn't say night and day difference, but it's a really good upgrade to have. Now, where did I put my phone? Oh, there it is. Also, quick cup of coffee. Good stuff. Now, coming back to the phone. I still have my tag on it. Didn't really bother taking it off. But I have my case over it anyway, so it doesn't really matter too much. Now, a couple things to note with this display. I kind of made a self-inflicting problem on myself, and that is I put a screen protector on it, which has dulled some of the input lag. For example, when I unlock my phone, it uses an under glass fingerprint scanner, and it works most of the time. Like when you first unlock your phone, it does it on the first try. But a few cases here and there, it does take 2, 3, sometimes 4 tries to unlock the phone because it can't read the fingerprint as well because of the screen protector. And the other thing I've noticed with this is that on the top, well, on your top right portion of the phone, it does take you have to jab the screen a little bit just to get the apps to open or whatnot. Again, it's because of the screen protector, self-inflicted problem, my fault. Uh, but apart from that, the screen is super responsive. It's like I said with the 90 hertz display, super responsive display. And it only makes me wonder how a 120 hertz display would be like on a phone. That would be an experience. We'll 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 see. Now, as with the cameras, it comes with a main camera that is a 16 megapixel with f1.6 aperture. Comes with the telephoto camera with 8 megapixels and f2.4 aperture, and the ultra wide camera with a 16 megapixel f2.2 aperture, and having a 117 degree field of view. Now the camera is decent, especially on the portraits. It does a nice job of blurring everything in the background and keeping the main focus subject in view. Now the cameras, in terms of their color chemistry, are a little bit subdued, especially when compared to the Pixel 4 and the iPhone 11 Pro. But overall, it's not bad. So one thing to know about the screen also is that it's a fluid AMOLED 6.67-inch display, and it barely has a notch in the chin. There's virtually, I would say, no chin in today's age of smartphones. And compared to the Pixel 4, oh my god, this is practically a full display from top to bottom. Watching a full 1440 pixel video on this is a nice experience. And the speakers, if you can, there's one on the top here. It's really minute for your call and whatnot. And then there's also one on the bottom. So when you're playing videos, both of the speakers are in use, so you get a full nice dual experience with the audio. They claimed that they got help from THX or Dolby. I'm not sure which one, but either way, it is a solid experience when you're watching videos. Now the OnePlus 7 Pro uses the Oxygen OS operating system for Android, and it is a nice operating system. It basically combines all your apps under, I guess, their one space under when you swipe down. So swipe to the right, which sometimes it doesn't let you. You have to really force yourself into it, and this is where they have your hidden space, and this is where you can store all your hidden apps, stuff that you don't want other people that will want to see. Although, since I just told you guys where it is, I guess people will find out now. I didn't really think that through, did I? No. Oh well. Now, compared to other phones, it is a bit of a big boy, and that's I said that out loud, didn't I? Yeah. It is a big chunky phone compared to my old Samsung Galaxy S8. Now, I'm not sure how much it weighs, but this is one of the heavier phones out there, and you'll definitely feel it in your purse or in your pocket. And it also has a 4,000 milliamp hour battery. Now, having a 90 Hz display rate, you may be thinking that 4,000 milliamp hours is pretty decent, but actually I've been getting about, I would say, 7-8 hours of use, and that's, I'm not pushing the phone too much. In fact, I barely use it for gaming, but if you use it a lot for gaming or other hard usage on the phone, you might be getting 4 or 5 hours tops from other reviews I've read. So having that 4,000 milliamp hour battery with a 90 hertz display, if you use it a lot, like if you want to extend the battery life, you may want to switch it down to 60 hertz, which will obviously extend the battery, but then again, you're having 60 hertz. So it's kind of a trade-in, basically, of what you're getting. Either you can have 90 hertz, which is a really nice experience, but you're killing the battery, or you can switch it to 60 hertz, which is a little bit of a dull experience, but you're also extending the battery. So pick what you have. And also, one other thing that really, I wouldn't say caught me off guard, but was kind of weird at first, was the notch on the side, not the notch, but the button on the side of the phone to switch between your vibrate, silent, and your ring. So on the phone, it's ring first, then vibrate, and then silent. Which for me, I thought it was the other way around. I thought silent was supposed to be on the bottom first, then vibrate, and then ring. Uh, it was kind of weird to get used to at first, but after a day or two, I got pretty used to it. It's just some minor nitpicking here and there, but if you're using the phone daily, at first it's something to get used to. Just thought I'd bear that out there. And on this, you also have your screen on and off. I said that contradictory to what the phone just did, but you get what I mean. And you also have your volume rocker on the side. But either way, not much of the way of buttons. And overall, this is just a really nice phone. It's probably, for my experience, it's just a 90 hertz display. I don't really use it for gaming that much. And partly now, I don't even really use it for pictures or videos. And that's because I'm using the camera that you're watching this from. A review of that coming soon. But for the most part, this is a solid phone. And if you're sticking with the Android department and you're tired of the Samsungs and Google Pixels, this phone is a nice alternative. And I will highly recommend it. Now, this phone did come out in, I believe, May, June of last year. So it is a bit of an older device and compared to the new flagships out there. But when I got this phone back in December, I paid $550 for it, which is actually a killer bargain for what you're getting, especially compared to the Pixel 4, which I don't know, almost starts at $1,000, and it's not. The specs aren't even that great, and that's for the Pixel 4. The Pixel 4 XL is probably even more, I believe. And as for the iPhone 11, you don't get the 90 hertz, and it's an Apple. Like, I'm an Android guy. Sorry guys, for you Apple fans out there, I'm still an Android guy. Hit your disagreements in the comments down below, but what can I say? So if you're in the Android department and if you're looking for a phone that you really need right now, this is a solid bet. Now they do also have the 7T and the 7T Pro, and they also have the OnePlus 7, not the Pro, not the 7 Pro, but just the OnePlus 7. And they're also coming out with, I believe, the OnePlus 8 this year, later on this year, which might actually have the 120 hertz display. And I almost forgot, the best, you probably already seen the trick, but if you want a selfie camera, the camera, it's rated for 300,000 ups and downs according to OnePlus. I'll take their word for it. It has been doing its job. I don't take selfies that much, I don't take selfies that much, so I don't really use the front-facing camera. And it does make up for having that full display and having no notch or a hole pin for the front-facing camera. So, for me, it is a nice, I guess, gimmick that you can have of placing the camera in the phone. Now, if you're worried about the front-facing camera, if you really like to take selfies, then you may want to switch to the 7T, which has a little bit of that teardrop notch in front. And with that, thank you guys for watching. Hope you guys liked this video. Leave a comment down below what other tech you want to see, and if I did a good job on my first video. And ooh, almost forgot. It's gotten a bit cold. Coffee though, can't really replace it. Catch you guys later. Peace.